Hi, I'm Wendy Hernandez and I'm the creator of Command the Courtroom. In this video, I want to talk with you a little bit about mental health conditions and how they come into play in a custody case or a decision-making case or a parenting time case. So one of the best interest factors that a judge looks at in making a decision about what's best for a child is the mental, emotional, and physical health of all of the parties, both parents and the child. So if one of the parties has some sort of mental, physical, or emotional condition that might get in the way of that person parenting the child, it becomes really important. What I see in a lot of my custody, decision-making, and parenting time cases, though, is either people really blowing mental health conditions out of proportion when the mental health conditions aren't that serious, or people not taking mental health conditions as seriously as they should. And this is really something that's difficult to gauge, especially if you're not a trained mental health professional. Even as a lawyer, there's times where I'm having trouble figuring out whether a person has a mental health issue or not. So to get to the bottom of mental health issues, what I always suggest to my clients is getting your hands on the medical records of the person who supposedly has the mental health issue. And depending on the state where you live, there might be different ways of going about getting this information. The way that I typically get the information is by asking the other party to sign a medical release, a HIPAA release. And I ask them to give me as many releases as mental health or doctors that they have. And then I send those releases out to the doctors requesting the files of the person. Once I get the files in my possession, then I look at the records, the medical records. I look for any evidence of mental health conditions. I look at any medications that have been prescribed to the person who supposedly has the condition. If I don't understand the meaning of the prescription or the medication that the person is taking, then I Google it. And while there's a lot of inaccurate information out on the internet, there's a lot of good information out on the internet. And even if you don't understand the medication situation perfectly, hopefully you can get pointed in the right direction. I also look at the length of time that a person's been treated for any variety or condition or variety of conditions. I look at proposed treatment plans that a doctor may have given a person, and I look for evidence about whether the person is actually following the treatment plan. Now again, even after I've looked at this information, I may not know what the person is diagnosed with or if they've been diagnosed with something. I'm not in a position to make a diagnosis. So in some situations, it really becomes necessary for me to get the help of somebody who knows what they're doing. It could be some sort of nurse practitioner, somebody who knows, who's had experience in the mental health field, or even a doctor. And I understand that this does come into money. It costs money. But when we're talking about the best interest of a child and the care of a child, it's really important to understand where both parents are in terms of mental health. And if one parent has a history of mental health issues, we want to make sure that the parent is taking care of whatever they need to. Now, I've said this in other videos, and I will say it again. Just because a parent has a history of mental health issues doesn't mean that they're not fit. It doesn't mean that they can't parent. It doesn't mean that equal parenting time may not be in the best interest of the child. It doesn't mean that joint custody or joint decision making may not be in the best interest of the child. A parent can have mental health issues and still be a really good parent. So you have to look at all of the angles in these cases. You have to review all of the mental health and medical records that are out there and available for you to review. You should utilize the resources that are available to you in terms of helping you review these records. If it seems like the mental health conditions are very serious, then you may need to get an updated mental health evaluation. You may have to get a custody evaluation. You may have to hire a doctor to review these things for you and interpret them for you. There's a lot of different things that you may have to do. But the first step in getting a handle on whether a mental health condition is being blown out of proportion or not being taken seriously enough is getting those records. Get your hands on those records. So I hope the video helps. If you enjoyed the video or you liked the video or you thought it was helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Doesn't really matter to me. I'd love to have some sort of reaction to you or from you. If you want to keep receiving my videos, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want more information on Command the Courtroom, go to commandthecourtroom.com. And remember, I'm on your side when it matters most.